After 4 months of not talking, believe me, I haven't stopped talking since.
He's one of the people that got far more critically ill than most people would get from this infection. We don't really understand why that happens. We don't understand why some people react so poorly to different viruses than others. We wind up giving him basically everything we could think of that might potentially work. He got a lot of medications that were what we would consider investigational, where we weren't sure if it helped or not, but there was some reason to believe it could help.
The top doctor here in the hospital, Dr. Ron Goldenberg, he told my wife, he said he's never seen anyone go through what I went through and survive. It's not one of these little miracles. It's an open miracle. And it's amazing that there's so many people who are part of it. I was on this machine for 17 weeks. It broke every world record. The doctors tried treating me, and they were trying thing after thing, and nothing was working. My wife, her faith was so strong. And she fought and fought with the hospital and said, let me be part of the process. Let me come and visit him. So they made an exception, and when she came in, I woke up. The physical task on my body is incredible. I try really hard, and sometimes I can't do things. In the beginning, I felt guilty. There were days that I didn't put on tefillin because there was no way that I had any strength to do it. There was an angel named Rafi who would come and put them on me. But a lot of days I couldn't do it. My most special wife, she reached out to the world and she started a campaign saying, my husband can't put on tefillin. Please put on tefillin in his merit. And then I came to the realization that God doesn't want me to put on tefillin. My not putting on tefillin is making hundreds of people around the world put on tefillin. And that's worth more to him than just me doing it. And I was comforted by that fact. There are 12,000 people that have gone through my organization in studying Torah. And I get to be able to see the effects of it. But when someone studies Torah, specifically one-on-one, it really changes a person. If we don't have Torah in our lives, then it's like we're not breathing. And COVID attacks your lungs. It takes away your breath. But everyone needs to breathe. And so it doesn't matter where you're holding in observance of the mitzvahs. Every time you learn Torah, it's breathing for your soul. Well, accurately, Today is day number 158 that I'm in the hospital. It's almost been 3 weeks now that I haven't been in critical condition, which means I don't have any chest tubes connected to my lungs. I don't have a trach, which is why you can see that I'm actually holding my neck, because there's a hole there, and if I don't hold it, air actually escapes when I talk. I did lose about 40 pounds. You can imagine laying in a bed for 5 months wouldn't really be a way of muscle building. One of the ways to connect to God for all of mankind is to be charitable. One of the things Sarah did was she had this tzedakah box decorated by the kids. When I was still in a coma, she would ask the doctors and nurses to take a coin and put it in the charity box. And in Hasidic philosophy, we understand that every single time that someone does a mitzvah, they're connecting not only conceptually to God, but they're also connecting their physical hand and that moment in time to God as well. And this is a commandment which applies equally to Jews and non-Jews, to be charitable. The word tzedakah doesn't mean charity. It means just. The reason that God gives us money is to do good things with it. And really, sometimes some of the money that we have is meant to go to someone else. And when we give tzedakah, we're just being a courier for God to give that person what they need. The janitor knows before he sweeps the floor, he comes right in, goes straight to the bowl of coins and puts one in the box.
Which one are you going to circle?
There was so much that I learned just by sitting and thinking about what's important in life in silence for, I was probably awake for at least a full month before I was able to talk. Nothing happens to you. It happens for you. When I'm in pain or when they're doing some procedure, which is, difficult or painful, I tell myself that I'm actually experiencing this for my own benefit. There's something which I'm getting from this, which for some reason, this is not a great way to get it, but it's really making me a better person, either character-wise or is helping someone else somehow. That line has gotten me through, any negativity or any negative experiences. God doesn't do things to hurt you. He does them for you.
You ready to get out of here? There we go.
I've gained an appreciation for discovering every new thing. Just eating in general, talking, using my feet, every little detail.
Great.
When we say the morning blessings every morning, we say things like, "Blessed are you, God, King of the world, who straightens the bent." And it refers to being able to stand up. And I still can't stand up. There's a much deeper appreciation for each and every, detail of what we're able to do. Most of these things we learn when we're kids and not conscious of the discovery part of it. It's a beautiful way of discovering life again and knowing that every single detail, it all comes from God. After 5 months, the first thing I had was a piece of chocolate, which was a joy that I had never experienced in my life. In Hasidic philosophy, it says that simcha poretz geder, happiness
or joy can break through any boundaries. That was what I experienced. My mind opened up in a way that I never experienced before.
L'chaim Yudi.
Hello, this is Rudy Dukes talking to you, God willing, for the last time from room 1525 in N1U Langone Hospital. God willing, this afternoon I will be moving to Rusk Rehabilitation and continuing to the next phase in my recovery. It's a really big deal and I'm very excited about it. One step closer to home.
When you are grateful for what you have, it changes your whole mindset. There's a joy in life. And for me, just having a moment where I'm not in pain, I can appreciate that because there's just been so much of that. If nothing else, I can always appreciate a moment that I don't have pain, that I'm able to breathe each breath, and just that feeling of gratitude to be alive is something which we all can really appreciate. And I think my role is to just be an example of someone who's been through everything and can still be appreciative for those moments, and people can look at me and say, I didn't have to go through that. I can appreciate just being alive right now.
When you're crowd surfing, you don't have to support yourself because everybody under you is just holding you up. And I feel like anyone who participated in, saying even one prayer for me, or one chapter of Psalms, or doing one good deed, is something that gives me energy. It's a spiritual energy. But that spiritual energy is attention from God, which translates into physical energy as well.